There you go. Let me give them a few seconds to jump on here. You know, they jumped on real quick at 1:30. Man, you gotta
So just
forgive
say
my
I couldn't see
haircut too,
nothing,
boy.
man.
Yeah, I couldn't see you at first. Then you popped up, and I couldn't hear shit. But I heard you kept saying, "Black, I can't hear you now." Something, and I ain't hear shit else after that. Nigga, my haircut is terrible.
But you
Look,
got
my
hair right there, though.
yes,
You ain't
no,
got none right there.
that's funny. That is funny. Get ass a second or two, and then we'll go ahead and get started. There, I'm sure they'll join in. But here we got one. Well, let me go on and goddamn get started. Now, you know, I work with one person, player, just like it used to be the comedy game back in the day.
You know, we done did a show or two with 2 or 3 people in the audience.
Hey, damn sure had to. Hey, welcome back to the Papa Black Podcast. This is an interview that I have been waiting on myself, and I don't look forward to a whole lot of people. But this man here is one of the realest and one of the first managers of Uptown, if not the first manager of Uptown. So y'all get up for my man, Mr. Ken Spearman.
Sup.
Hey,
I wasn't the
man.
first, though.
Okay.
Griff was the first.
Griff was the first.
Griff was the first.
Damn.
Actually put me up on how to do it, how to get it done. Before then, I had done promoting for V103 and was a local rap.
Hold on, you was a rapper too?
Oh, yes, sir.
What was your stage name, Phil? I ain't know nothing about this.
K, Citizen K. I don't stay, keep it close to my name, Citizen K.
Damn, I would love to hear some of that
K.
music, man.
Oh, you ain't know that?
No, I didn't.
Yes, sir. Signed to Dark Productions.
Oh, you were signed and everything.
Yes, sir.
I always wonder how you got started, man. I did not know that. Like I rapped for a minute, you know, Doodoo used to rap, you know what I mean? So, hey man.
That's actually how I met Zoo and Shouty.
Oh yeah, Zoo used to rap too.
Damn. Zoo used to be around Dallas, and because Dallas brother, that rest so used to be one of my managers, and then he passed.
Damn. So when you got started at Uptown, man, how did you get started being a manager at Uptown?
I was a promoter for V103.
Okay.
But I started as an intern.
Oh, okay.
While I was in school, and position came up. I said, okay, I've been doing this for two semesters now. It's time for me to make some money.
Right.
Got some free time for me. Gave me some credits. Appreciate you. Now it's time to make some money. And they passed me over for Carol Blackman's nephew. Her nephew. I said, okay, well, I know how the game go.
Right.
Hit your family, and nepotism is always around the game.
Right. That's right.
And I, been a local rap artist. I had been around the game for a minute. So I said, okay, I give you another 3 months. Next one came up. I said, look, if I don't get this job, we're not renegotiating my contract.
Hell nah.
Even at that time, I don't know how it is now, but at that time, even as a intern, you had a contract.
Right.
And they put me on as a part-time.
Okay.
Paid promoter. And I was like, nah, I'm better than that. And I'm better than that because you just hired somebody and you asked me to train them.
Hell nah.
So either give me his job or I gotta go. And so I left. But right as I was about to leave, Gary and Quake came to the club. Came to the place and was like, hey, we know you do a lot of the club stuff because I was the one who. You remember the big old jam box?
Yeah.
That was me.
What?
I'm the one that drove that big pink radio around the town.
Right.
So they knew me from doing that. Said, "Hey, you interested in coming to the club?" Of course, I've been around comedy for a minute, going down to the comedy act. So for me, it was a no-brainer. Went there and been there since.
So what year was that?
I think that was 91.
So you had been in the game a minute before I came along. Because I came at the end of 93.
Maybe 92. Because whatever, they had been open for 6 months before I got there. And I was their street promoter and stayed street promoter for maybe 6 months. Then I start booking the features.
Okay.
Start booking the features and promoting. Then we start moving up. Then probably maybe within about a year, they moved me down the street. When we got the little offices down the street at 1776.
Right.
Maybe 2 years. Then I became the promotions director, and he started having me book the headliners and the features, and the whole stage was mine. Yeah.
Hell nah. What's up, Butterfly? And then Smokey D said, "What's up, him?"
Smoke. What's
I'm
up?
trying to get him on here. I done told him he need to come on here. Because really what I want to do, man, I want to bring out all the people that started out with us around our style. Because we the foundation of Atlanta comedy. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So let me ask you this. Now, what was the difference between the Comedy Act and Uptown?
As I see it, you gotta remember I'm biased though. So,
right, of course.
As I see it, Comedy Act had a larger name.
Okay.
Because it was the Comedy Act and it was there first.
Right.
But we had Quake.
Right.
And so the fact that we had Quake and we were in Buckhead, we were saying that, okay, Comedy Act is the hood version
of
Uptown.
Okay.
And on some nights it could be. Some nights that was really true.
Of course.
Because I had been to the Comedy Act a couple of times. That's where I met G-Man. I used to go down there to see Tim Murray, who I went to high school with.
Oh, I didn't know you and Tim went to school. Okay.
Yeah, I think I was a grade or two ahead of him. But when I did a promotion down there one time with V, and my boy was like, "Yo, Tim Murray's in the house, and he's a comedian. He's gonna go up." I was like, "What?" So that I'd already knew him, so that was cool.
Damn. So now I know the Comedy Act closed in March 8th, 94. Was Uptown jumping in, or did it really take off when the Comedy Act closed?
They had us beat on open mic.
Okay. The open mic was fire.
Their open mic was fire. Our open mic was fire when Quake was in town.
Okay.
Like our Tuesday night was all right.
Right.
But our Sunday night was fire. Our Sunday night was an open mic before the show.
Oh,
now that was always hot. But our Tuesday night was hit or miss. And sometimes I could make it happen, sometimes I couldn't.
Right.
But I'd have to say by then we had our roles going. So we had what was it? Simon on Wednesday. No, I take that back. We had Carol Blackman. Simon on Wednesday, Carol Blackman on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, hosted by Quake, and then Sunday was open mic. So, well, open mic part 2. So yeah,
Right.
we was jumping by the time they closed, but when they closed, by the time they closed, they set off our Tuesday
Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
because of the whole flame thing.
Yes, Lord.
And when the whole flame thing happened over there, we said, "Hey, Flame, bring all your people to us. We'd be more than happy to put you up."
Right.
And
Right.
then by then, the whole week was set. Now,
Right. Because, see, I remember that when the Comedy Act closed, it was on a Monday. And we had to go to Uptown that following day. And that motherfucker was sold out. And Quake
yes,
didn't put
sir.
up nobody from the Comedy Act. I think a couple of them that was going back and forth, I think they might have got up at the end. But he didn't put up none of us. He was calling those POWs and everything. I'm talking about, I was mad at the time, but when I understood business, I understood why he did that. Because, boy, he had us by our
Because
nuts.
you know what? Um, because at the time, and Gary made it, who was the owner of Uptown,
Right.
had made it clear. Gary and Quake had made it clear. If you do Chris Club, you're not doing Uptown.
Yeah.
And it it didn't go over well with a couple of
Right,
comics.
boy. Ooh.
And the other ones were like, okay, well, you got to draw a line in the sand
Right.
because we both clubs had ideas. Comedy Act already had multiple clubs, but we were
Right.
looking to have multiple clubs.
Right. Right.
So we both wanted to be the big name in black comedy.
Right.
And if my clientele can see black over here and then go across town, see you over there, then why would they come see me? Or
Right.
if you're the host over there and you're there weekly,
Right.
why would I headline you here? Because they can pay to see you over there.
That's right. That's right.
And then we were doing, I don't know, were they doing free passes over there? I don't think so.
Nah. Well, I think open mic free? Open mic might have been free, but not during the week. Nah.
Yeah, that was something that Gary really changed Atlanta when he
Yes, he did.
did that.
Yes, he did.
When he decided that he was going to make that um, part of our way of bringing people in, he really changed things, and that's kind of what helped us not do what we needed to do against Comedy Act.
Right. And see,
That and some of the promotions we were doing.
right. And see, I remember when Breaking Bruce and Quake had that little rivalry. I don't think it was never any real beef, but it was a rivalry because Bruce was on fire at the Comedy Act,
Bruce was on fire.
and Quake was on fire at Uptown. And we talking about the original Uptown on P Street, up there where Houston's at. Houston's at. Up in the corner, upstairs. We're not talking about we're not talking about the one that a lot of y'all know about. We talking about the
Marietta
original.
Street.
Yeah. We're not talking about that.
No.
We gonna get to that. Now let me ask you this. When they got Comedy Corner 2, what was the thing behind getting Comedy Corner 2?
Comedy Corner 2 was they decided, okay, we need to branch out. We wanna get more people, and we like I said, we want to be a chain.
Right.
Um
Right.
And Stone Mountain people wasn't always coming down to see us.
Right. Right.
You know, because at the time, I see. Sorry, my son is here. He decided he want to be with me.
Oh yeah.
Um, wait, something just happened on my screen. Okay, there we go. So he decided that you know, this is a whole market over here that's not really coming down to see us in Buckhead, because at the time we weren't down in Buckhead a lot.
Right.
And honestly, we weren't really welcome.
Right. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah, Buckhead was different back then.
yeah, it's a lot of different back then. But so they said, okay, we found this spot. We're gonna branch out. And at the time, we were also trying to do earthquakes out in Texas.
Oh, okay.
So it jumped off. And I think it opened up like 2 weeks too early, but we opened up. Ricky Smiley was the first comic.
Right.
And I remember, I know we opened up too early because the sound system wasn't set right to be able to do his. At the time, Ricky had a lot of music in his set, and so we had to have a tape deck on stage with somebody sitting right next to it with a mic at the thing, so it would play right. But that was it. We needed a second place. We were killing it in Buckhead.
Yeah.
The lines were always long in Buckhead.
Oh my God.
We were getting to the point that we were bringing in heavyweights. By then, we had started booking Steve Harvey. By then, the Comedy Act was done, so of course Bruce was a mainstay now.
Right.
Monique was there constantly, and we were getting to the point that, you know, we need to have another door if we're going to be there for all our people. And so we opened up there. Then I think within maybe 3-4 months, maybe 6 months, they said, okay, well, we're gonna do this this club in Texas, call it Earthquakes, and that was our third building.
Damn, I didn't even know about that. Not the one in Texas.
We were doing, for a minute, we're doing 3 clubs at once. And then things kind of went sideways with the owners of the clubs. And then that, for a minute, if you remember, Uptown separated. Well, take that back. Stone Mountain separated from Uptown.
Right.
And Gary took Stone Mountain, then Quake took Uptown, and the two were separate. And then they became one again. And then shortly after that, we went ahead and closed Stone Mountain, and everybody moved back to Uptown.
Right. Now, I will say this. You was one of the first ones that wasn't kind of in our clique that believed in me. Because, boy, you know, I was catching flack. You know what I mean? I heard I was doing a lot of stock jokes, which I didn't know what the hell a stock joke was. I was actually writing that material, and you pulled me to the side. You were like, Black, you do a lot of stock jokes. And I'm like, Ken, what the hell is stock jokes? And he was like, these are jokes that been in books and all that. And I'm like, Pimp, I ain't never read no book. You know what I mean? So, and you made me one of the first hosts of Comedy Corner 2 out in Stone Mountain.
Yes, sir. You and Tim Murray.
Yep. And I appreciate that, Pimp, because a lot of people, like I tell people, my style was so hard back then. A lot of people, it wasn't being done. So I really didn't
No.
have no path to follow.
And it definitely wasn't being done here in Atlanta.
Right.
And at that point in time, Atlanta had hit the scene so hard on Def Jam and Comic View,
right,
that we were a force to be reckoned with. You had Quake here, Bruce here. By that time, Ricky, even though he was from, Bama,
right.
everybody thought he was from here.
For real.
We had just such a gang with Zoo and Sherman and Tim and everybody killing on Def Jam,
right,
and Comic View.
Right.
So we hit hard, and then I said, okay, I saw you do a couple of sets, and I said, okay, definitely got stage presence. He's got that down.
Right.
And I saw that comedy was gearing towards a hood comedy joke, a comedy lane. That was a whole lane being built. With TK helping and Doodoo helping to create that
yes
lane.
Yes, sir.
And yes, Doodoo is definitely the king of that.
Pimp, I always make sure I get them their props, because like I tell people, if it wasn't for them, it was no way the world was ready for me. And TK was the first. He was at my very first show. I'm gonna tell you my very first show. Mike Epps told me to get on stage. Bruce was the first one to give me the microphone, and TK Kirkland was the first one to tell me I was funny. And Sherman, I see you. Sherman said, "What's up, Sherman? I gotta get you on here too, Sherman. I gotta get you on here." Yeah, man. Sherman doing a big thing with Chris Tucker right now, so I love that. But yeah,
you know what? Let me give Sherman his props right now. When I first got in this game, I had known, about comedy and what comedy was, having listened to Richard Pryor albums and Red Fox and so on and so forth. But when I first got in this game, aside from Quake and Bruce, Sherm was the one to pull me aside and say, "This is how this game works. Now, if you're going to be in this thing for a long time, this is how this game works." And it's not just a game, it's an art form. And after that, I started reading on it. I started looking at it. Anytime I needed to know anything about this, I either went to D. Militant or Sherm.
Rest in peace, D. Militant.
Yes, sir. Greatly missed.
Yes, sir.
Or Sherm. So Sherm, mad love for you, brother. Thanks for putting me in this and helping to teach me.
He said, "Ken, plus he got them hands." And look, Sherm, if I ever needed somebody to talk to, I could always go talk to Sherm. I could always go talk to Sherman Gold.
And his door was always open to you.
Yes, it was.
But Sherm hit me bad one time, man. I said, okay, well, Sherman was the host. I don't know who the headliner was, but he wasn't doing great, so he came off a little early. And I said, "Sherm, my girls ain't got all their money, man. I need about 5 more minutes." Sherm said, "Man, it's the end of the show. I don't do no time after the headliner." I said, "Sherm, I need just 5 minutes. Just talk to them. Keep them in their seat for 5 minutes." Sherm said, "Man, when I hit that mic, I'm going to say, come back next week. We'll see you then." And I'm getting off that stage. I swear to God, as soon as Sherm hit that mic, he said, "Y'all come back next week. We'll see you then."
But it was a sign of disrespect if you did any time after the headliner back
then. And I learned that. And so after that, I had my girls, "Hey, y'all get y'all money now."
That's right.
Because when this headliner come off, that's it.
That's right. Now let me ask you this: give me a earthquake moment. Like when you see him just show out.
Oh, that's easy. That's easy. It's
many of them.
packed house. Packed house. At this point, he's Quake now. He ain't Earthquake no more. He Quake.
Right.
So he's at the height.
That's right.
He's on stage doing what he do, nailing a dude in the audience. Dude said, "Okay, we done." Boy said, "Man, this is my club. You don't tell me when we done."
That's right.
So Quake went on for about another, felt like forever, maybe 5-10 minutes on him.
Yes.
And I mean, killing him. That man got up, pissed as he could be, got ready to rush the stage. Skip, he's a comedian now out in LA, but at the time he was security.
Right. Yeah.
Skip rushed the stage. I came down from the DJ booth, rushed the stage. Somebody, two other comics from the other side rushed the stage.
That's funny.
And proceeded to get this man out my house. And all the while, Quake is killing him on the mic.
Oh yeah. And I tell people, Quake was hard to deal with back then because when let him get pissed off. He finna ride your ass on talking about forever, player.
And don't bomb on a Tuesday. And Quake was the host.
Oh, it's over with.
Quake made you feel like you was 2 years old getting chewed out by your dad.
Yes, sir. And
but it helped raise a lot of comics.
Yes, it did.
If you couldn't take it. If you couldn't take Quake killing you, you damn sure wasn't going to take 559.
Oh, no. Hey, man. They don't understand that 559, player.
Oh, yes, sir.
Now, let me ask you this. When 559 came on, how did it affect Uptown? Or did it affect Uptown?
It didn't affect us at all because we had a good relationship with the people over there.
Right.
So, and then 5-5 started so late.
Yes, 12 o'clock, midnight.
So you did, if you were smart, you did my room first.
Yep.
Got tuned up and amped up so that you could go over there and survive.
That's right. That's right.
But don't get me wrong, my Tuesday wasn't no joke.
That's right.
And me being me, you're not even getting on my stage unless you bringing it.
That's right.
And now like every Friday and Saturday night is open mic night to a lot of the clubs.
What? Those were the Monday nights.
I put up a lot of guest spots. Yeah. You know, I didn't do guest spots on Friday and Saturday.
Right.
But unless you were, known.
Right.
Well, at least not at first. I ended up doing it later on because you do what the owners tell you to do.
Right.
But in the beginning, and then when Joe took over actually no, that was something Joe wanted me to do, is put up a lot of people. But Gary and Quake was like, nah, if you get a spot on Friday and Saturday, you had to earn that.
That's right.
So
that's right.
On Tuesday was okay. Who am I looking? I'm looking for somebody to be the next feature or the next host. So my Tuesday was for me to guide y'all to be who you gonna be, so that I can make money on you later on.
That's right. And see, when we started, you had to be funny. You had to really earn your stripes. Now today it's more you build your audience on social media, then you got a chance to get funny. But back then, when no social media, you had to actually be funny. And we had
how does that work though? Because you build your audience on social media and you bring them to the club. But if you haven't been on that stage,
right?
If you don't know what a callback is, if you don't know what a segue is,
that's right.
You get up there and you tell your jokes, and
right.
A joke on this computer is different than a joke on that stage.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And I think
Because
a lot of them, find that out when they first try to get on stage.
okay,
And they be like, man, this ain't what I thought it was. I'm like, pimp, the three things that you got to do to master comedy is your stage presence, your timing, and your delivery. And in Atlanta, you got to be funny. Because if you're not, they're gonna let you know that you're not funny. Because it's a long line of motherfuckers that done came through Atlanta that was, hey man. And see, I remember when we didn't get no respect at all in comedy. Then we had the funniest comedians in the country. And then I seen it kind of tail off a little bit. You know what I mean? So,
right.
like, we might go to the club, even on open mic night, and you might see Sherman, Chocolate, Small Fry, Bruce. You might see Doodoo. You might see TK Kirkland before you even get to the amateurs.
Right.
So then when you come up as an amateur pimp, you ain't got no choice but to grow.
And you got to come behind. And everybody working out new material and working out they fire material.
That's right.
To try and see what that set gonna look like. That's and then you as a brand new comedian, you got to come behind that fire.
Hey man.
And at that time, all them names you named,
yes sir.
At that point, they was at their hungriest.
Yes sir. Yes sir.
And them, Tim.
Yeah. I didn't name half of them.
Right before Tim left, Chris Charles.
Yes, sir. Oh boy, ooh, he was hard to deal with. Boy.
Who you said last night, Will Ward.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
It was some people out there that's hungry, and they putting out fire to try and get booked, and then you, Joe Nobody, got to come behind that and still make a person laugh.
That's right.
Because it's somebody like me who gonna book that club, sitting in the audience going, okay, nope, that's a horrible joke.
Oh yeah, and you used to let them know. Now you didn't cut you didn't cut no corners. You used to let them know. Because if you felt like they weren't ready, they was not working Uptown, Bill.
I told a lot of comics point blank, you're not ready. Go see this person, go see that person. Work on this, work on that. But it was never to stop them from being who they were going to be. Right. It was always to try and make sure that they get to that level.
That's right.
And then sometimes, it's hard love. If I can make you quit by telling you you need to quit,
that's right.
Then that wasn't the game for you.
That's right. Well, you had to have thick skin coming up through Atlanta back in the day.
Oh yes, sir.
You had to have thick skin.
See, now I think it might be easier, might not. I don't know, but if you can decide, okay, you know what, I ain't make it in this lane, or I don't like the way they dealing with me in this lane, I'm gonna jump over here. Or I'm gonna jump over here. It's so many different avenues to make it now.
Right.
But if your ideal is to be on that stage, if that's your goal, then you grow that thick skin and you learn from whoever's there to teach you.
Right.
I was fortunate enough that I had the right people to teach me so that I could teach y'all.
Right. And you would actually sit down and tell us the truth about our set and how we can make it better. You know what I mean? And I love you for that.
I appreciate it, man. But by then I had become a student of the game. I was reading books. I was learning how to write jokes myself, so that I know when I hear a joke, when I see a joke, when I see a set, I can say, okay, this is how, if you had delivered it like this, if you had chopped this up, take some of the meat out of that, if you had done this, then that joke would have been funnier. Or just kill that. That's not funny.
Right. Yeah.
And again, it's the comedians at that time are the ones that kind of help get me to that point. And Bruce was one of those people that my mom used to tell me back when I was a kid, when grown folks talking, if you just shut up,
you can learn
and sit back, you might learn something.
That's right.
Bruce used to come through the club all the time, not go on stage,
right?
Just sit in the green room and talk.
That's it.
And I swear to God, anytime Bruce was in the building, I'm going to come back to this green room, shut up, and listen to Bruce.
Right. Right.
Because he'll put you up on some real game.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, let me ask you this. How was it when Bruce actually hosted the club? He hosted what, for about a year or two?
About a year.
Yeah,
about a year or two. Actually, I think it might have been a year and a half, 2 years.
I think about a year and a half, probably.
You know what? Each time the club went to a new host, the crowd got different.
Yeah, yeah.
So like Quake had a lot of stars come out to see him. That was when Bobby was coming to the club all the time.
Chris Tucker, Wesley Snipes.
Yes, all the stars was always coming because that was Quake.
Right.
And so all the people came to see the stars.
Right.
So it was a little bit more glamorous then.
Okay.
Bruce became the host, and then we still packed, but we packed with a different type of crowd now because Bruce was an everyday type of man.
Right.
And Bruce is your next door neighbor.
Yeah.
Bruce want to come over and work on your truck.
Right.
With you.
Yeah.
That's the people that we got in. So at this point, everyday people are coming through. I see that go. And then of course when Zoo became the host,
right?
Now we got a lot of we kind of called that the daisy, the hippie era, the daisy chain, because that was at the time that was who Zoo dealt with. So each one packed the house.
Right. That's right.
But each one packed the house with their people.
Right.
So it was cool, and I loved it. But of course you love it most when the person who created it was there. So I think I loved it through all of it, but I think I loved it most when Quake was there, because that's when it was at its height to me. Even though when Joe took it over, we got a lot of recording artists in, and by that time Atlanta had Outkast in all the time. But I mean, I brought Outkast in when they first came out.
Right.
There, we did a promo for Southern Playalistic because I'd been with V103. So we did an autograph signing for them at the club for Southern Playalistic. So they had been there for a while, but now Shawty's in the music game a lot, and he's blowing up, and he's one of the hosts along with Nard.
Right.
So now a lot of the local rap artists are in. So it was hot then, but it was hottest to me when Quake was there.
Right. And see, like a lot of people, if I'm not mistaken, Zoo was the first one to get a deal representing Atlanta out in LA. Because he jumped on V103 first. Yeah, a holding deal or whatever. But he jumped on V103 first, and then he got his segue out to LA, and he was the first one to get a holding deal and all that.
With that commercial with the NFL. Not the NFL. It was Miller Lite, I think.
Right. Yeah, I think it was Miller Lite. Yeah.
Yeah, Zoo and when seeing how all the comedians in the area came to celebrate that, that was just beautiful to me, man.
Oh yeah.
We had a lot of love for each other back then.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Because everybody had their own style.
Yes.
Everybody had their own style. So when nobody trying to imitate nobody, when nobody stealing jokes, it was none of that.
Well, there's people stealing jokes.
Uh-oh.
It was people stealing jokes. But at that point, we were hard on. We would just yell out. Quake told us in the beginning, you see somebody, if you hear a joke somebody else said, yell out that person, yell out the person who told that joke first. So
Ooh.
if somebody's on stage and I hear Black's joke, then I'm Black boy. I'm not gonna pull you off. I'm not gonna say it to you.
Right.
But there's been a couple of times that I heard a comic out of Detroit came down one time, and they're on stage and they're doing their set, and I'm in the DJ booth talking to Aunt Love, and I hear a bit about a Chinese food joke. And this is funny because he's out there now in the comments, and it was Sherm. So I'm yelling. I immediately come out the DJ booth. Sherman Golden in the house.
Hell nah.
But apparently the comic on stage knew what was going on, because he was like, no, I don't think Sherman in here today. Sherman Golden in the house today.
Right.
And he addressed it with me after I got off the stage, and I was like, no, dude, I'm telling you now, I'm gonna fire you on this next show if I hear that joke.
That's right.
And at that point in time, I was kind of gangster at that point in time.
Yeah. You didn't care now. I will say that. You didn't care.
I told him point blank, I'm gonna send you home tonight. And this might have been the first or second show on Friday. So you're gonna miss a gang of money.
Right.
If I fire you on a Friday.
Right.
But he did the rest of the week without doing that joke.
He had to. Because you were gonna let his ass walk.
Oh yeah.
Now let me ask you this. Who was some of the comedians that came through there that didn't make it the whole week? Because if they was terrible the first couple days, y'all sent some home now.
You know what? I don't even I know there was a couple of bad bookings, and I don't think that they were bad bookings. I think that it didn't work right.
Right.
But Dolomite, rest his soul, that cost us a lot of money because we were booked. We were overbooked for Dolomite. And he got booed so bad. I don't remember who was on the show with him, but everybody had to do double work. Right. So I think it was we did Thursday. No, we did Wednesday. We did Thursday. By Friday, he was done.
Oh, yeah.
By Friday, he was done. And matter of fact, I think we turned it into Quake headlining. You know what? There were a couple. I don't remember who, but there were a couple that we had to say, you know what? We got to put somebody else in here.
Right.
No, there was only one other major person that was at the Marietta spot. But I don't remember what his name was or is, because he had decided to come out of TV and movie to go back to the stage.
Oh.
And you can come. Comedy is a forgiving sport.
Right.
You can stop doing comedy for a while and come back to it.
Right.
But you gotta come back to it slow. You can't just jump back on stage.
That's right.
You got to get them chops back together.
That's right.
And I guess he thought that he could come back like that. And he got booed off stage, and Lav Love was his host. Lav did 30 minutes to open up. The feature came on, did his thing. Lav did 10 minutes after. Dude went up, got booed 17 minutes into his set.
He remembered the time.
17 minutes into the set. And I mean, he had credits. He Biker Boys, all the other stuff that he had been on, I think at the time was some supernatural type show, but he had major credits. But he hadn't been on that stage in a minute. And then Lav did the craziest thing. Lav went on after and did the hour and 15 minutes that he was supposed to do after having done 30 up front and then 10, 15 in the middle. Damn. So Lav ended up doing 2 hours that night. And I was like, dude, I used to manage you and I didn't know you had that.
Right.
But yeah, that was it's been not many people.
Right.
But it's been one or two people that got straight fired.
Funnel said, was that Brandon?
No.
And she said Dolomite kept saying, check out my CD.
Oh, she remember?
Yeah.
No, yeah. It was if you've ever seen the movie Biker Boys.
I'm trying to remember what comedian was in there.
He wore glasses at the time. I have to reach out to Lav and find out. I cannot. He was on the TV show he was on was a supernatural type TV show, and it was with Ichabod Crane, the Headless Horseman.
Was it Freddie Ricks?
No, but Freddie Ricks had some hit or misses. Yeah. But he always made it through the week.
Right.
New York comics always had a little bit of a hard time. Like their Wednesday might be garbage, but by Friday they would have adjusted to what an Atlanta comedy audience is ready for.
Right.
Except for Talent.
Yeah, Talent ain't never had a problem.
Talent ain't never had a problem down here. You know what? No, I think it just might have been one or two comics out of New York that just they got, but by Friday they was ready to go.
Right. Just like I remember when Tracy Morgan first time coming down here, and he was scared to go up. And I told him, he was like, man, I'm not ready for this. I'm like, but Doc, you hustle man. What you mean? He be like, man, to be honest with you, when Martin gave me that, he said I had never did comedy. He said that was just a little bit I wrote, and Martin gave it to him. Yes. And he said he had never seen a crowd like down in Atlanta. And I was like, Pimp, just go up and do your thing, man. Just relax and have fun, and you know what I mean? They'll gravitate to you. You got to catch their attention though. Once you catch their attention, you'll be all right. And he went up. I think he did pretty good because they recognized him from Hustle Man.
Yeah.
So that helped him.
And he did the same thing Brumman did, which he would put that character first.
That's right.
Let you ease yourself into his character, and then he would go ahead and do his stand-up.
Right.
But first you get to see this character, because if he just go up and don't do that character, then okay, well then I don't even know who you is.
Right. Right.
And our audience come in with an attitude.
That's right. That's right.
Like you better be funny.
You better be funny.
I understood why mainstream white audience, they come in ready to laugh.
Right.
We want to see this guy on stage and make us laugh. Our audiences come in with an attitude like,
yes, sir. Maybe don't spend that little. Maybe don't spend that little bill money. Then y'all got that 2-item minimum, and half of them didn't want to get no 2 items. Man. And if you did get 2 items, it was going to at least be $5.
Or $5 surcharge.
Yep.
I got cussed out so much about that.
That's fine. But you let them in free. So if you get in free, man, you can at least spend $5, man.
And I tell you, we started out doing what's called a fax party or a VIP party, where you would do 2 for 1.
Okay.
So we was making some money, but these were just the parties, and then you paid full price at the door.
Right.
Then I think we were going head to head with Comedy Act, and Chris was gonna be in town, I think. So, but Quake couldn't be in town. Okay. So if Chris is in town and Quake can't be in town, we had to go local. So if we go local, we still got to be able to put, asses in seats. So Gary was like, you know what? Instead of 4,000 passes, we gonna flood the market with passes. And we were packed. After that, Gary said, this is what I'm doing. We'll make the movie, we'll make the money off the food.
Yeah. Man, one problem I always had with Uptown, I used to buck on it by myself early in the game, was them 9 shows for $450. I always had a problem with that.
Bruh, let me tell you, y'all were lucky to get that $450.
Like I told him,
I was supposed to give y'all that $450.
Amateurs was getting nothing when we started. Nothing. Right. You was lucky to be getting on stage. But I used to buck on it by myself. Everybody thought I was crazy, but I was like, "Pimp, that's $50 a show." And everybody was like, "Black, you just gotta do it, man." I'm like, "Man, I can't, man. I just always have a problem."
You gonna go?
Right.
You got to go on the road, and everybody couldn't get on the road.
Right.
And at that time, like right now, it's like 6 open mics a night.
Yeah.
At that time, wasn't nobody else doing shows like that.
Right. But
Maurice could have came and shut the whole city down if he was doing it back then.
Right. Yeah. He got a lot going on. I ain't never really mess with him because he always want to give me some trash money too. And Doc, I've always bucked on that, man. I couldn't.
But your problem, Black, is you bucked too early.
Yes. Yeah.
You hadn't even made a name for yourself.
Hey, man, I tell him I've always been rebellious, pimp. Always.
But I do know. You hit me straight with it. Hey, Ken, man, I want to do it, but if you can't do this, then I just can't do it.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, man. But I've always believed in myself, but I do know me being so rebellious kind of hurt me in the long run. I do know that, you know what I mean? So I don't deny who I am. I don't lie about it, but yeah. Like when I talked to Carlos and them on 85 South, they was like, "Do you think that you being rebellious really hurt your career?" I'm like, "Yeah." And Chico Bean didn't even know who I was. And he was like, man, you might be the first person to admit that you bucking on the system hurt your career. I'm like, yeah, they know if I come and talk, I'm gonna tell you the truth. You know what I mean? And I'm not afraid of it. But I don't know, man. It was just if I didn't feel like I was getting treated right.
We've talked about it a couple of times.
Right.
But it could go either way. I mean, you bucked on it and it could have hurt you, or you could have bucked on it and it worked out for you.
Right. But see, I think what really hurt me was everybody else would do it. I was the only one bucking. So
you were the only one bucking.
Yeah.
And anybody else, black don't want to do it, I can get this person or this person or this person.
Right. Yeah. Hey man, I just like once I understood the game and I understood what business was, I was like, hold on, they making a killing off us. Like I used to tell the comedians that started out with us, like, hey man, y'all, because they had a bad thing of going down there doing their whole set when they supposed to do a guest spot. And
yes,
Garrett said that he didn't have to hire a feature. And I asked them one day, I said, hey man, let me ask you this. How many comedians from Atlanta done actually headline Uptown? I say, now, you can say Doodoo and Sherman. Ain't nobody else really headline Uptown. They might get a spot in there every now and then, but on a regular, nobody ever headline Uptown. I say, so if y'all go down there and y'all keep doing your whole show for free, why would the man ever have to book you? And everybody thought I was crazy. I was like, him, I can't do it. I can't do it.
And the problem is that you weren't lying.
Right.
And unfortunately, we talked about it a couple of times, is why would I give you more money when you're gonna come down, you're gonna do the same set for free?
That's right.
You're gonna come and ask me to do on open mic night, you're gonna get up there and you're not gonna do any new material. You're gonna do your same set, and then you're gonna come on Friday and you're gonna ask to do a set, and if I let you up, you're gonna do that same set. Why then would I pay you to do anything?
Right.
Or why would I pay you major money?
Right.
Now, if you keep coming in and I know you got more,
right,
then my people want to see more, then okay, yeah, I'll go ahead and book you. But we had that conversation with Smokey and Hurricane and a couple of comics at the time when they felt like they should be getting paid more.
Right.
And it was kind of like, okay, show me more, and I'll begin to pay you more.
Right.
But right now I'm seeing the same 6 jokes.
Right. Right.
And if I'm still seeing the same 6 jokes, then that tells me you don't have more. And if you're only going to do the 5 minutes that you did on Def Jam or Comic View,
right,
then I have no use for you.
Yes.
So keep coming and I'll keep giving you these free sets until you give me more. And you give me more, then I'll give you something.
Right. And see, I know your son ready to get a hold of you because you being a great dad. I can tell because they trying to wear you out. So we ain't gonna hold them too much more long. I ain't gonna hold you. But let me ask you this: which one of the Uptowns did you like the best? Marietta Street, the original, Comedy Corner 2, or did you have something to do with the one out here now?
No.
Out here in Hateville? Okay.
Oh no, they closed now.
Yeah, I know it.
Oh. I didn't have anything to do with that one. I wanted, I wanted something to do with all of them.
Right.
But I think the original. Okay. And the original with Gary there.
Right.
Right. And Gary gets a hard rap from time to time and a lot Some he deserves, some he doesn't.
Yes, Lord.
But Gary was a fun boss.
Right.
That time, because that was a time when black comedy period was on the rise.
Yes, sir.
And at that point, I had a small 3-city tour myself. I had 3 clubs that I'm booking, Uptown, Stone Mountain, earthquakes out in Texas. I'm on the phone with major people constantly. The city is just on fire.
Yes, sir.
With black comedy.
Yes, sir.
So for me, that was the best time. I knew that we had hit the pinnacle when a major white comedian had died, and Fox 5 and Channel 2 showed up at our doorstep to ask me and Gary how we felt about it. And it was like, we do urban comedy, right?
Right.
But that told us we were the main thing in the city.
Oh yeah.
I did the weirdest, craziest promotion where I did comedy in the house. So on V103, you hear a certain thing, you call in, and you could win tickets to the show. And then at the end of the week, they picked a name, and whoever name they picked got to have the comedy show, which was a special event, in their house.
Oh,
so
wow.
We did it with Monique. We did it with Jay Lamont. We did it with like two or three other major comedians at the time. And that got to be huge for that person. And then they come and then they see this show at the club. They see it like a small 30-minute show at home. Then they do come see it at the club. So we're doing major promotions. We've got Quake on the cusp of being who he's become. Mike Epps on the cusp of being who he's become. Right. And to me, that was just the best time.
Let me ask you this. Name some of your top 5 comedians from hold on. I'm saying from watching them grow, like you actually witnessed their growth, and your top 5.
Top 5 that I've seen. JB Smooth. Always talent.
Yeah. Always been a beast.
Tim Murray is still always going to be in my top 5. Man, Tim is one of the best writers I've ever met in my life.
And he represents that Decatur pimp. So I always love Tim Murray.
Let me tell you, he's officially on my back now.
Yeah.
If you don't know the name Tim Murray, go out and Google comedian Tim Murray. He is without a doubt one of the funniest, and kept me out of jail.
Damn.
Kept me out of jail. I'll tell the other 2 in just a second, but I'm gonna tell this, and I tell it as often as I can. Comedy Corner 2. We had a bad night. It was crazy. It was overpacked, and I had to kick somebody out, and it was about to get violent. I decided, okay, you know what? You've gotten on my last nerve. I'm headed to the car. When I get back in, I'm laying you out. On my way to the car, Tim got on stage. Tim brought whoever was on stage off, jumped up, start doing my favorite joke of his at the time. And I mean, I stop in my tracks. I'm going to listen to this one joke, and then I'm going out to this car, get this heater, and heat some things up. After that, I'm laughing. I'm done now. Okay, y'all come get this man, get him out my club. But that if Tim hadn't told that joke right then,
right,
it was gonna be a wrap.
Hey man, if you can help me get in touch with him, I would love to interview him.
I can do that.
I would love to interview him.
I can do that.
Your last two.
Last two. Zoo and Laugh.
Damn. Laugh showed you a whole lot of love too when we was on here. When I interviewed him, he showed you a whole lot of love.
You know what? I've been in and out of the game so much myself after in the last, however long it's been. And Lav is one of the people that whether I'm in the game, he's with me. When I'm out the game, he's with me.
Right.
And for that, I love him. But Lav came in and said, I want to learn how to do this. And I'm going to learn how to do this and do this perfectly. So, and that's what he did. From being a security guard up at Lennox, Lav would get to the club however he had to get to. I think he said he used to skate to the club sometimes. I have to check on that. But Lav would get to the club however he could get to the club, wait as long as he had to wait.
Yep, he said that.
And to get up. And some days he would be there all day and I would still bump him because too many headliners came in and wanted to get up.
That's right.
And Lav would never bitch about it.
Damn.
Lav just, okay. I'll be here tomorrow though.
Right.
And for that, I love him. But just seeing how he's grown from those first few sets to now, and even being able to handle, because a lot of headliners did not handle the movement into this new streaming and social media, the way that they should have, and the way that you have to be in this game now, and he did it perfectly. And him and Tim will always be in my top five because Tim is just a perfect writer. Zoo can take you from laughing to crying to laughing all in one set.
Yeah.
And then Lav is just all over the place and can handle any audience. And that's what I love. Those are the comics that I love.
Right.
They can handle a hood crowd, a church crowd, a white crowd, any crowd you put in front of them. 2-3 people, they gonna kill them. 2,000-3,000, they gonna kill them.
Right.
Those are the comics I like.
Let me ask you this: any advice that you would give these younger comedians? Because you're a vet, pimp. You done groomed a lot of us. Like, they might not give you your props, pimp, but you done groomed a hell of a lot. I know it, pimp. I sit back and watch now. Like, I might be off the scene right now, but pimp, I still sit back and watch pretty much everything because I still love the game. I just I fell out of love with the business part of the game.
I absolutely. Yeah. It had gotten to a point that I hated I hate it. I hate giving away comedy, so I hate these free shows that we do, that we have to do here.
Right.
I think I say my comedians because I like you said, I've groomed so many of you. Are worth more than a free show.
That's
Not
right.
to take away from any other promoters out here that are hustling, doing their thing. And I got a lot of love for a lot of them.
Right.
But Atlanta doesn't have to be a free city.
That's right. That's right.
And I think we wasted a perfect opportunity. When we came back from the pandemic, that was the time that we should have said, okay, comedy costs. Even if it's $5.
That's right.
Comedy costs.
That's right.
And nobody did that.
Right.
They all just start doing free shows again and complaining. Well, I mean, we got to make our money this way, or we got to make our money off the back end, or we got to make our money this.
Right.
So if they wondering why I don't have a room, because I don't want to do free shows.
Right. And that's one of the things that turned me off. Like when my career slowed down with Bruce, and I came back and I seen some of the ones that's been in the game long as I have, 17, 18, 19 years, still doing free shows. I'm like, Pimp, come on, man. I can't. That's really what got me sour on the whole game, because like I was working by myself. And I was like, hold on, I don't had my days of paying my dues. I don't feel like nobody should be able to see me free no more. Unless I just want to work
I
out.
know the business, and I know I could go out and I may still do it to get my foot back in the business again. Because you always, if this is what you love, you're dying a little bit on the outside, on the inside, when you're not doing
now. Yes, Lord.
And this is what I love. So I probably will sometime next year get back to doing some stuff, but I don't want it to be a free show.
That's it.
Or if it's gonna be a free show, it's gonna be free because it's put on by this group. So it's free to these people.
Right.
But it won't be at a club or something like that for free. If I put on a show at a club now, I feel like I'm gonna have to charge you.
Right.
Because the comedians the comedians I like are charging me.
Right. Right. Now, before I let you get out of here, all-time favorite moment in comedy. Out of all the people you done seen, out of all the shows you done seen, what's your all-time favorite moment?
I want to say it might have been 80, no, 9, I mean 98, 90, 98, 97, something like that. But we did a show for Bob Sumner. Called and said, "Hey, I want to come down and I want to do a show, and I want to see a lot of comedians." And I said, "Okay, well, what I'll do is I'll pick the 10 best and put them up for you that Saturday. But what I'll do is that week I'll do shows all week long and let them whittle each other down." And that week we killed. We did maybe 15 comics every show, doing 7 minutes a piece, and we destroyed. And to me, that's one of the times that I said, this is what I do. This is the top. This is what I do.
Now, let me ask you this. Your cleaning service. I know you got a cleaning service. I know this ain't got nothing to do with comedy. But Pimp, I'm a hustler. I've been a hustler all my life. Go ahead and let them folks know about your cleaning service.
When the pandemic started, I was working with Big Kenny on doing something, and all of a sudden can't do anything. So my fiance and I said, okay, let's do this cleaning service. So we started Diamond Shine Cleaning Service. DiamondShineCLS.com. We do residential, we do commercial, carpet cleaning, and making it happen.
That's it.
You know, I'm one of them people. I'm a hustler. I'm not gonna stop.
Right. That's right.
I see one door shut, then I'm coming through your window.
That's right. That's right.
So that's what I'm doing now. And then but don't sleep. Ken Spearman Promotions is still available. And I still
give me your
got all the
tags.
connects that I used to have.
Give me
and
your
at
tags,
some point in time, next year.
Yeah, give out your tags.
I think next year I'm gonna set some stuff off in a whole different way.
Okay.
But right now, Diamond Shine.
Okay. Well, player, let me tell you something, man. If ain't nobody ever gave you your props, pimp, I got to give them to you because you have groomed a lot of us. You have helped a lot of us. And I want to personally thank you because I was not easy to deal with, pimp. I know this. I wasn't easy to deal with, but you always had my back.
I appreciate it, and you know I've always had love for you, and always will.
Oh yeah, always. Well, pimp, I'm not gonna hold you because I know you love being a father.
That little man right there,
yes, sir.
Is just waiting.
That's right, but that comes from you putting that time in. If you didn't put no time in, he wouldn't be studying your ass right now.
Right.
So I appreciate you, pimp. I appreciate the time you gave me. Hey, man. And if you can get me in touch with that Tim Murray, I would love to do that.
You know what, man? I'll go to work on it in just a little bit.
Yeah. And I'm gonna have Sherman on here too. Sherman said that he won't do it for me too in the comments. So yeah, I gotta get Sherman on here too.
We gotta do one when we can all get in the same room, man.
Hey, we can do it on here. I think I can get like 10 people at one time. So
okay.
Yeah. Let me know
when. Better than when it's 3-4 comics in the same room.
That's right. Just let me know when, pimp, and we'll schedule it and we will make it happen.
Yes, sir.
And I appreciate you, player.
I holla, bro.
Easy. All right, pimp. And as y'all always hear me say, man, y'all be easy.